In today's episode, Dave asks, have you found any generational differences in the amount of word of mouth happening? In short, no. No, people talk about things that they like, that catch their attention, regardless of age or gender or demographic or geographical location or any of those things. If something's cool, people talk about it. People share it. People distribute it. People promote it. What has changed are the channels where people talk about these things. 50 years ago, it was literally around the water cooler, right? Or maybe in the newspaper. 25 years ago, it was by email, right? Email and those endless forwards. People forwarding, hitting reply all on everything all the time. The bad old days. 10 years ago, it was on Facebook. Today, whole bunch of new channels where people are spreading word of mouth. Everything from places like Nextdoor to old school places like Facebook. There are still people technically on MySpace, TikTok, Discord, Slack, you name it. What has changed is the number of channels available to people and the speed at which word of mouth spreads. A group chat or a group text, you're talking about words spreading instantly. When you talk about things like a Discord community or a Slack community, you're talking about scaling word of mouth to a large group of people behind closed doors where marketers can't see, but the word of mouth is 100% happening. So the generational differences, to the extent that there are, is really about the channel of communication, how people prefer to spread the word. But the underlying fundamentals have not changed. You have to have something worth talking about, right? Word of mouth will not spread if there's nothing to spread. If your product is exactly the same as a competitor and maybe 2% cheaper, who cares? If your product is, I worked with this one company, their product was twice the price and half the quality of the nearest competitor. And it was always an ongoing struggle to explain to the stakeholders like why people weren't talking about the product in a positive light. Well, because it was twice the price and half the quality of the nearest competitor. The challenge, the big challenge, is that what constitutes word of mouth, that bar has gotten a little bit higher. Not necessarily in the product itself, but in the ability for one person to get another person's attention about something. We are living in a media landscape that is so pervasive, that is so attention hungry, that everybody wants us talking about something. Everybody's asking us to share, to spread the word, to promote. And when everybody's doing it, it gets really noisy. So to stand out, to have word of mouth be effective, you have to be substantially better than the other things that occupy word of mouth, right? You have to be better than the content on Disney Plus. You have to be better than the sports team that's playing. You have to be better than the politicians that pissed you off last week. And that's a tall bar, because those other things consume a lot of attention. Attention is the scarcest thing we have, right? I'm thankful that you're just watching this video at all, right? Because you're giving me attention when you could be giving it to, I don't know, some politician ranting about something. We have to figure out how to continue to earn attention and hold on to it. So if you're looking in your data and you're seeing generational differences, what you really are probably seeing is channel differences, which means that you should do some attribution modeling and figure out, where does your attention come from, and how aggressively are you pursuing getting more of it on the channels that are working? Without, when I look at my data, there isn't a single channel that is standing out head and shoulders above all the rest, saying this is the channel to be on, except email. Email is the one channel that I have. Now, maybe I'm just a bad marketer, but email is the one channel that consistently delivers very high rates of attention. Everything else, attention seems to be very, very ephemeral. Even, the private Slack community and stuff, getting people's attention on a regular and consistent basis, it can be challenging because there's so much else competing for our attention, so much else competing for the recommendations we make. The other thing that, again, is not generational, but is a content thing, is that we have to remind people to share stuff. We have to ask people for word of mouth. Relying on it alone without that encouragement is really, it's not a winning strategy. Right? You've got to be able to ask people, say, hey, if you like this, please tell a friend about it. If you like this newsletter, if you like this YouTube video, please tell a friend about it. Tell 2 friends about it. And not a lot of marketers do that well. A lot of marketers forget to do it entirely, myself included. My hand is up in that batch of people who forget to ask for word of mouth. But if you don't ask, you don't receive. So that would be my perspective. It's not generation or age, it is channel. And we've got to make things easier to spread. We've got to make things easier for word of mouth to happen. And we don't do that right now. So really good question. Thanks for asking. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.